his perspective.
Welcome to the 21st Century Man. From his perspective, we are talking about the 21st century man. And in this show, we are unpackaging everything about the 21st century man. In the previous episode, we were talking about the 21st century man and looking at how he carries out himself, how confident he is, looking at his ego. Today, we are going to talk about him as a companion.
Are you that man? 21st century man from his perspective.
As we talk about the 21st century man as a companion, I have with me on this show today my friend and brother, Kevin Dire and Pastor Solomon Ogutu. We are going to share with you about the 21st century man. Before we talk about the 21st century man, as is the norm, I will not allow us to fail to get the perspective from the other place. Which other place is it? The streets.
Kwa maoni hiyo, naona mwanaume inabidi asimamie kama familia yake kwa kumshughulikia kila jambo ambayo inahitajika. So, kila mtu anahitaji asimamie familia yake kama mwanaume wa hiyo boma, umsaidie familia yako, mke wako pamoja na watoto.
Companionship means spending quality time with your family. So 21st century man is more oriented towards getting us more money. Money fixes everything. So money hunting replaces companionship.
21st century man from his perspective.
Thank you very much. Coming back from the streets, we are now focusing on today's perspective as a companion. What is a companion? What is a companion? You know, we are talking of, does a man need to have companions? What is companionship?
Number one, which I know Elder Ndire is also going to say.
Yes.
When you go back to the Old Testament, that is where it is picked from. And in the Hebrew culture, when you go down to it and start studying it, you'll realize that the word companion either means a friend or a member. Is a companion, a member of a certain group. So which means these are people who are tied with a common bond.
Bond, yes.
There's something which really brings them together. If it is in the family setup, there's marriage which has brought them together. If it is in work, that is where you can talk about the idea of a colleague, but this one is a companion in a way, because you are tied together with a certain kind of a bond. So that is where we are coming from.
Allow me to break it so that we don't lose the perspective. I want us to talk of companion. Let's do the first aspect as you brought it. And when you go to Genesis chapter 2, you know, companionship starts from way far.
Yes.
Genesis.
In Genesis chapter 2, just look at verse 18. And here it says, and the Lord God said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him an helpmeet for him. Man should be alone. And here's where we normally say there's a difference between alone and lonely. You can be lonely in a crowd.
Yes.
But here we have said, first of all, let's deal with man should not be alone.
So this one talks about, I will make him a helpmeet. There's a translation which talks about, I will make him a companion. Yes. So which means they go hand in hand. They're tied in a common bond.
Let's see.
The same way Solomon has said, the helpmate there in, I think that is King James Version.
Yes.
In NIV it says companion.
Yes.
So it means he's somebody that you are a friend to. Like, let's say, for example, in the book of Genesis, the Lord intended that the people who come in marriage must be friends.
Wow.
They must be friends.
People who come in marriage must be friends.
Must be friends.
Can a 21st century man have his wife as a friend?
That's the question we want to fight with this time.
But when they were getting married, were they friends?
Sometimes they came together for convenience. Yes.
But
Maybe there's something which made them to come together.
But as time goes by, they must be friends for that marriage to go through.
So you're saying even if it started on the wrong footing as a convenient package,
For it to go through.
but now when you're moving, you have to get from convenience to companionship.
True.
Wow.
I want to, I don't know, but you can assist me. Elder Ndire says that they must be friends.
Must be.
Must be.
For it to be successful.
For it to be successful.
Yes.
I want to, because of a lack of a better word, I want to omit the word must
We should.
and put the word should.
Should. Okay.
For the sake of tomorrow, for the sake of friends, which means it was convenience which brought them together. They should try to be friends. At the end of the day, as you move from one step to the other, the baby steps, you'll realize now at the end of it all, this word must is going to be accomplished. But in the intervening period, we should learn to be friends.
So progressively we are heading towards accomplishing must.
Yes.
But as we head there, we are passing through all this. In fact, listen to this in Malachi chapter 2 verse 14.
Yes.
It says, "Yet you say, wherefore? Because the Lord has been witness between thee and the wife of thy youth, against whom thou hast dealt treacherously. Yet she is thy companion and the wife of thy covenant." What picture is coming there? You've dealt treacherously. As in, you've not handled your companion well. Does it mean there is a way we are supposed to be handling our companions? Is there a way in which if we don't handle our companions well, we've not dealt with them well, God has a problem with it?
Actually, Andrew, what the Bible says there in Malachi chapter 2 verse 14, let's picture it in the book of Ephesians chapter 5, that men love.
Yes.
The point here is that you want the 21st century woman to submit, but without the factor of love. The Bible says that you have not dealt with the woman in a proper way. In fact, Malachi chapter 2 verse 14, if you read between the lines, says that the Lord has been a witness.
Yes.
It means that this friendship,
He's seeing this.
when you are starting it, the Lord bounded it with some rules. So if you break those rules,
Wife of your covenant.
yes,
That was a covenant.
it was a covenant. Once you agree that this one is my partner in this marriage, it is a covenant that should be kept. I don't know what Solomon
That is
thinks.
true, because partners, even partners in crime, they are bound with something,
Sure.
which makes them not to leak the secrets. So when God is talking about in Malachi, brings in the idea of the companionship, then combines it with an oath. This time round, a covenant.
Yes.
Yes.
Which means the friendship which is establishing, the very one which Malachi is echoing as we finish the Old Testament, he echoed it when he was starting the marriage in the book of Genesis.
Yes.
So which means he wants to combine these two things. It is not just any kind of friendship, but there's a covenant which brings them together. It is this covenant which at the end of the day, if it is broken, you even break the relationship between you and your God.
I saw Elder Ndire say something that I really love when he took us to Ephesians chapter 5. I don't know whether you've noticed, as I have keenly noted, that Ephesians chapter 5 is fondly remembered for the submission of the wife, when that submission is only one verse. The verses are very few on submission. And when it comes to explaining love, go with me there. Look at the explaining love. It goes ahead to say, husbands, love your wife as Christ loved the church. Then it starts saying, no man has ever yet hated his own body. He nourishes the body. Explaining all these things. Love is explained. Could it be that women know what they need to do to submit? Nowadays, even pastors are preaching so much on this. I'm sparing evangelists. I'm sparing evangelists. But pastors are preaching so much on submission.
Yes.
When the big thing in Ephesians is to the 21st century man. He needs to love. Companionship must be very clear that he's providing it in loving. No man ever hated his own flesh.
In fact, let me bring it like this. Why do you think we love Christ? Because he first loved us.
Wow.
First, Christ loved us. So we are replicating the love. Let's say, for example, I love my partner. It will be of no benefit her not submitting. She will submit automatically. Let's say, for example, the Bible says that you take care of your wife even as you take care of your own body. You feel hungry and you feel thirsty and you will take water. The same way your body feels, you do to her. And she will submit automatically.
Did you just hear what he's saying? That the problem has never been submission. The problem has been, what is that thing that will ignite the submission? In fact, submission is readily waiting for the men.
At the same
Love
time,
is the key that unlocks
in one of the episodes,
submission.
somebody said that you submit to what and to who. That what and who
Yes.
must have what we call the ingredients in it.
Sure.
And one of the greatest ingredients in who is love. Because you find an individual, the he. The he must give one attribute of that, what I call an ingredient of what we call love. So when this she sees the love, she submits. Because that which has been told of man, man has already taken care of.
Sure.
I want to hear us talk about what is the benefit of companionship.
The benefits
Does the 21st century man have something to benefit from companionship? Are we just saying that you need somebody? What is the benefit? In fact, look at what the wisest man that ever lived talks about this in Ecclesiastes chapter 4. When you read Ecclesiastes chapter 4 verses 9. And I don't know why these things are normally just crammed by most of us when it comes to weddings and such. It's easy to cram them. But listen to this. Ecclesiastes 4:9. Two are better than one because they have a good reward for their labor. When you're going to even talk about, listen,
Just
two
continue.
incomes are better than even one income.
Continue with the word labor.
I'm not going too far. We don't have a problem with time today. Today, let's relax. Companionship. And listen to this.
Verse 10.
For if they fall,
Yes?
Sure.
if you have no companion, you are prone to fall.
Sure.
And how will you help? For if they fall, the one will lift up
His companion.
his fellow. But woe to him that is alone. When he falleth, he has none to help him up. Again, if the two lie together, cold season, if the two lie together,
Yes.
July is coming. If the two lie together,
They will keep
it says then they have heat. But how can one warm alone? Is there a benefit of companionship? Let's just say.
There's a great benefit.
What is the benefit?
What Elder talked
Talk out
about.
of experience.
What Elder talked about. He said that you need to take care of that person the way you take care of your body.
Sure.
Wow.
You get it? He's come, adorned the way he is in his coat.
She did it.
There's a companion.
I've not reached there.
She did
He
it.
comes to
confessed.
church and with
He
the
has
necktie,
confessed.
he's strangling himself coming to church.
Sure.
Which means he has decided to take care of his body.
Yes.
For him to appear smart before people. To appear well-groomed before people. Now,
What are you saying?
assume the same way he has taken care of himself and even gone to the supermarket and bought the most expensive soap to come and wash himself.
Yes.
Let me give you, for example, Dettol.
Yes.
280 shillings to 300 shillings. Vis-a-vis, you've left that one for 10 bob. which means both of them can do the washing.
Can clean.
Yes. But you see, you've left the one for
Take
10,
care of his body.
but you've picked the one for 300 shillings, which they also end or get consumed at the same rate.
Sure.
Just because of your body. So if you can do that for your body, if you can translate the same and give it to this other person.
Talk to me.
Let me give an example.
Talk to me. I hear my brother alluding to the fact that there are men who can suit up and tie up, and yet there are women, their wives are not smart.
Let me give an example. And I want to speak to a friend outside there. One thing that happens once the partner that you come into marriage with is a friend, the benefits are so many. Let me say, for example, a man outside there is married to a lady. And that lady, unto their place, let's speak of those guys who are coming from campus, university.
Yes.
When the lady was in campus, the family vested too much
They
on
invested properly.
on this lady.
Yes.
And then you marry this lady at his fourth year or sixth year.
Yes.
And then you two people stays together. If these two people does not agree as friends, that we have other people who help us to reach where we are, and they agree, those other people will be suffering.
There's something elders said which I want to tell you just to confirm. The normal years for the university are 4.
Yes.
Sindio?
Yes.
Why has he mentioned 6? I'm alluding to the fact that he's talking about the wife, a doctor. So he's giving us a true picture of what is happening to him. He's being realistic.
He waited for 6 years.
Let me continue.
Like this.
Now, it happened that you marry this lady at 6th year.
Yes.
If the parent doesn't have that confidence that these two people are friends and we're not going to benefit out of this relationship, there'll be a stumbling block. They will actually stand before you. But if you tell them we are friends, if I fall, she will lift me. If I have to put a house, I will put from both places. At my father's place and also at their father's place. And if those two houses are coming up, I want to assure you, you're binding these two people inside this nuclear family, and the extended family also are being bounded.
Wow. You've implied something that needs to take a short break, because I hear you implying that there is even investments external that we need to do. Let's take a short break. We'll be back shortly on the 21st Century Man.
21st Century Man from his perspective.
Hello children, I have great news for you. A brand new season of Bible Treasure Quest is coming soon. Do you know why you believe what you believe? There are things about our faith that are important for us to understand as children. Watch this brand new season and learn more through quizzes, games, stories, and songs. Don't miss out!
21st Century Man from his perspective.
Welcome back. Before we went for the break on this show, the 21st Century Man from his perspective, we were here, and I think it was getting heated as we unpackaged the 21st Century Man as a companion. And my brother, let's just begin from where we left. You were saying that the 21st Century Man who is a friend to his companion is going to ensure that when he is developing, he develops even the friend's place.
Sure.
What were you implying?
Let me explain this. There's a norm that I like sharing with many people. If both of you are friends, your ATM will be ATM.
Oh, friends don't compete.
ATM will be your ATM.
Wow.
I know friends who knows me outside there will testify to this. Even if you are not earning the same amount of money at your workplaces, that amount put together will preach outside there.
Companions put together their resources.
Sure.
And they move together.
You develop.
Companions are not going to move separately.
No, you don't buy a shamba on your own side and you also buy your own shamba. No. Wow. You put that money together.
Some of these things should come out so clearly for the sake of that friend outside there.
And that's why
so that we help the 21st century man in the best way possible.
That's why you heard me say that the 21st century man, when you are smart, your wife is smart.
Sure.
When you are on a weight increment program, your wife is on a weight increment program. When you are progressing, even academically, and you say, and let me tell you, by the way, for me, I personally decided I will take what I normally call the elder's approach at Holy Communion.
Yes.
When I wanted to do like my master's, I first asked, have all received? Has my wife
done
advanced? Then now I can come.
Sure.
Because you see, it's just good. You see, the 21st century man esteems, when you have a companion, you esteem them better than yourself.
Sure.
If you go by the biblical principle of do unto others as you want them to do unto you, you get to a point whereby even you,
yes,
somebody will want to do to you well.
And
your
you know,
companion will want to make you better.
And you know, for you to keep friendship, respect must be there.
Let me hear.
I wanted to come to that. We've labored so much defining companion.
Yes.
Who is a friend? Who is a friend? Whom do you call a friend? Are you my friend?
Yes.
Are you my friend?
Yes, I am.
Why do you call me a friend?
A friend you can be able to share.
Share what?
You can be able to talk. You can be able to, in fact, when
I'm
you're
counting
looking at
them.
friends,
Share.
you can talk.
Talk.
You're vulnerable to your friend. You see, there are things that you're going through that you may need assistance. A friend is somebody whom you can confide in.
Can you have more than one friend?
Yeah?
Of course, yes.
Yes, you have friends.
Okay. So in the context of marriage,
Yes.
where do we, as a 21st century man, where do I put my wife as a friend?
Your wife as a friend then comes not at the tail end. Your wife as a friend then comes at the start.
The reason as far I'm saying that is very clear. Friendship will come depending on the circumstance. And I want to explain. I'm a soccer fan.
Yes.
Then I find Kevin supporting Manchester United.
Yes.
You get it? If Newcastle will come and beat us, we will be solo.
Yes.
So the bond which ties me with Kevin
Is the team.
is a team which is Manchester United. I cannot come to you and talk to you about Manchester United because you are not a fan of Manchester United. If you are a lover of the Bible,
Yes.
Kevin is now not a lover of the Bible. Our friendship is limited at that point of football. I come back to you. Our friendship is limited at the point of spiritual well-being. You get it?
Yes.
Then another person will come forth. I'm going to be invest in him on social grounds. We can just talk about some bit things around in social life.
Yes.
You get it? But when now you come to the wife,
Yes.
where do we put her?
And this is
Where
what I
draw
want
the
to
line?
ask. This is what I want to ask. We are talking companionship.
Yes.
And when we talk companionship, I don't know. I don't know how many ladies love football. But I see enough ladies are in football jerseys. Is it that they love football or they love their husbands?
Some of them.
The World Cup season just ended.
Yes.
And you would see the ladies also knew what was going on. Could it be that was just companionship?
There's some who are true fans.
Yes.
But there's some who have gotten into enjoying football because they want to take their husbands there to go and watch it. Or at a night when the husband is watching, they pick sides.
So they love football through their husband.
Not love football.
Yes.
They want to keep their husbands, they want to keep company.
Yes.
They want to keep them company so that they don't get tired while watching. So you pick one side, I pick one side.
A man who loves football should go straight to the point.
The point.
How does it feel as a man when your wife decides to think that your love for football is useless? And how does it feel as a man when your wife is also has realized that Manchester has lost, and she's also like, sorry, it's tough. I know.
Those days when I loved it so much, I come home and I don't know how my wife has already realized that Manchester United has already been beaten. So I walk into the house and she starts laughing at me. You know, that laughter also encourages some kind of a bond, though it irritates. In the night when she also is enjoying, she's enjoying her favorite, I don't know whether to call it a soap opera or some kind of a Z World thing, these ones which have come, you also need to be part of it.
So are you saying that when we are talking companionship, we are not theorizing companionship to mean sitting together. Companionship may even mean that in our recreational things,
Yes.
we are together.
Sure.
And that's why I'm saying, you see when Paul says to the Jews, I became
A Jew.
as a Jew,
Yes.
that I may win them. Now, if you've realized that your spouse
Yes.
is a preacher, all of a sudden you need to have some appetite for preaching.
Let me give an, let me
You,
give
you,
an,
you
let-
cannot sit, you don't have an appetite for preaching, and your husband is really struggling to preach.
Let me give an example. I
Give
was in a
it.
certain town,
Yes,
and a certain church.
yes.
For those guys who are churchgoers, who are watching us. And so the members of the church
Yes.
saw me preach somewhere. And so they thought that the wife can also preach the same topic this man is preaching. And so they told my wife, go and teach health. The way my friend has said that my wife is a medical officer. And so what happened that evening,
Yes.
without their knowledge,
Yes.
my wife went to my laptop. And I was sitting next to her at night. And she was telling me, now what you want to do, we want to transfer this sermon that they saw in you.
Yes.
And then I'm the one now to present, because they want me to present, not to you, because you're not a medic. But the same thing.
Yes.
So that evening, she took all the slides.
Yes.
What she did, she only introduced the first 2 slides with the medic language. The rest was Bible. And the members of the church accepted that she was the one who preached. So in the evening, she was telling me, see, I told these guys will accept because they know that I'm a medic. But me, I've never taught things of health in the angle of the church. Me, I can teach as a classroom teacher, medical things. But in a camp meeting, we must bring the issue of church together so that somebody can see a holistic kind of view. But that one is not in me. Me, I'm in class. The things of preaching is with you. So I'll blend your things. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes, even as you have friends and you bond together, what you are will be part of her even as you move forward.
Help me understand this.
Yes.
Because from what we are saying about companionship,
Yes.
we are saying the 21st century man
Yes.
would want his wife
Yes.
to appreciate the things he likes.
True.
We are very clear on that.
And that is true.
But we must also say that the 21st century man
Yes.
will appreciate the things the wife likes.
Of course.
You know, it's not easy. I always say it's tough. It's tough going shopping at times. But ladies love shopping. And by the way, I'm yet to come across a lady whose hobby is not shopping. They may not have the money, but the love for shopping is there.
I'm waiting for that piece of advice.
And
Which
let
you
me
want to
tell
give?
you, the piece of advice I want to give is this. You see, they love shopping.
Yes.
That means the same way I want that attention, and I want there to be proper attention when I am going to do the things I love.
Yes.
Is the same way she wants proper attention when she's going to do the things she loves. We cannot make it look like when I am going to preach, everything comes to a standstill.
Sure.
When she is going to shop,
Everything
thou
comes
mayest
first.
go.
No.
Have you ever gone to the supermarket with your wife?
It's economical to go together.
You check
Trust
the,
me.
You check the list.
It's economical to go together. If you send ahead, in fact, there's a time they were saying that, you know, when you see a married man walking with a wife in the supermarket holding the hand, it's a matter of economy.
It's stingy.
It is not, no, not that he's stingy. He's just being economical. He's not being so romantic as he's economical.
I'm asking this question again.
Yes.
Have you ever taken time with your wife in the supermarket? How many hours do you consume?
No, not how many hours do you consume. My brother, you've got the wrong word. We need to say it like this, that when I am with my wife in the supermarket, how much time do I enjoy with my wife in the supermarket? In fact, for me personally, nowadays, I've decided I want to start enjoying these things. It is possible.
So you go together.
Kevin,
you
assist
go
me.
together.
I think what
Kevin,
he's trying to say is that when you're in the supermarket, you take few minutes locating what you want to buy and move out.
Exactly.
No. The problem
Kevin, you're right.
The problem is you are in a hurry. The shopping was not about you. Listen, when we are talking
from your house with a shopping list, gone to the supermarket, I want to go pick tissue.
And you're intentional of what you want to buy.
You know what you want to buy is when you want to take somebody's daughter, you go there, you look for Hanan. No, this one is not soft.
What
you
does
come look
somebody's
for this.
precisely?
It is tissue.
What does somebody's daughter want to do? Listen. We've just read it, that love is this. He laid down his life for his friends.
True.
So let me tell you, when you get to the supermarket, it's not about you, brother.
Hey.
It is, I am laying down my life. And so you see, when I lay down my life, let me tell you something.
Of course, you enjoy
I
that shopping.
have realized the benefits of laying down your life for a companion may be greater than what you forgo. Listen, 4 hours in the supermarket may come. When you redeem, do you know things called bonga points?
Brother,
you know about bonga points?
Yes.
Brother, you're just pushing the trolley for 4 hours.
Push the trolley. You may end up pushing other things in life for a longer time. I'm telling you, you don't need a psychologist.
What if in the 4 hours, the mind changes and she picks what was in the what was not in the list? You won't be economical.
Let me tell you something. There's no problem. Understand your wife.
Sure.
Understand your wife.
Sure.
And let me tell you, your wife does not want to embarrass you.
True.
Your wife, if she knows you and she loves you, she's not even picking something that is not in the list unnecessarily.
Sure.
She'll say, but I love this one, we will pick it next time.
Sure.
So you see, the thing is this, be part of this. Don't make it look like it is something strange.
I'm talking on behalf of a friend. I'm talking on behalf of a 21st century who is under siege.
Is that a siege? How?
Who walks in the supermarket for 4 hours and the only thing inside the trolley is a piece of a tissue paper for 4 hours. And you have a shopping list. You'll have to help the 21st century man, including myself. This is where we go wrong.
And let me tell you,
because we don't embrace them with the way they are.
Precisely.
Including myself, who is a pastor.
And you see, the moment you want the ladies to view things from your perspective, I feel we are losing companionship. Companionship means you will view things from my perspective, and there are things I will view from your perspective. And that then means we are communicating. And communication is not just, I say, did you hear?
Yes.
Communication is not, if we go, let's get out. Sure. You see, as you've said very clearly, I don't have a problem with, I'm a choleric man. You know, when you're dealing with cholerics, some people think I'm a sanguine, but I'm not. I'm a colsan. Now, cholerics tend to, what works for them, you don't change a winning team. Now, you see, when I am going to shop,
yes,
I know even the corner where I'm going to pick what I'm going to pick.
Sure.
I pick it and leave.
Correct.
Now, when I go with her,
yes,
she may know all the corners.
yes,
And we are only going to pick Blue Band. But you may walk through the entire supermarket, but you see what is happening.
Ahead.
Think of it this way. And you know, we are talking about you need to spend time with your wife. Let me tell you, we live in a fast-paced world. Yes. The time you have may be that time in the supermarket. So utilize the time in the supermarket well. You can be able to walk.
Every single moment, tell the 21st century man, with a woman matters a lot.
Every single moment, every moment counts. Whether it is 4 hours in the supermarket, or it is 1 hour, or every moment counts. And that is why, when we are going shopping, I lead the way.
sure.
I lead the way. Let's take a break. That was heavy. That was heavy. We need to drink some water. Let's take a short break. We'll be back shortly.
21st century man from his perspective. Hadithi inasimuliwa ya mtu ambaye aliwatesa Wakristo kwa motisha ya hali ya juu. na baadaye akawa Mkristo kikweli. Mungu aliongoza mtu huyu kushiriki na kuandika kile ambacho wokovu unamaanisha hasa. Mfano, jinsi ya kukabiliana na shida, maadili ya Mkristo, kanisa la kweli, msamaha, tumaini kwa ulimwengu, kati ya mafundisho mengine kemkem. Huenda ukawa na maswali kuhusu mada mbalimbali anazoeleza katika Biblia. Tazama msimu huu mpya kabisa wa Jibu kwa Mashaka na ujifunze zaidi kutoka kwa Mtume Paulo, upate ufahamu. "21st Century Man from his perspective."
Welcome back, dear viewer. The 21st Century Man from his perspective is the show we are on. And we are talking about the 21st Century Man today as a companion. And you see, when we talk about him as a companion, there are several things that are fighting for your time as a companion.
Sure.
And here we have the 21st Century Man.
Sure.
You hear his mother wants to have him, and the mother has not let him go. I'm the one who schooled you up to everywhere.
Sure.
And here's the 21st Century Man. What can he do about that?
Let me give, before I come to the parents, let me give an example. Let's say, for example, you want to spend time with your friend, your partner, on Sundays, which is a weekend.
Yes.
And maybe she has piled clothes the whole week. So you'll be in the house from morning up to, let's say, 1 in the afternoon.
Yes.
But you require her time. And the Lord has blessed you to lessen the burden of what she's doing, of cleaning the clothes manually. Do you think it will be seen or it will be improper for you to buy a washing machine for her, so that the machine can take care of some things, even as you too?
My brother, you're using simple terms to explain a complicated thing. And
Yes.
what I think you're getting to is what you can automate.
True.
What you can delegate,
Sure.
delegate.
Sure.
Companionship, you're not going to delegate.
You
That's what
can't.
you're saying?
You can't.
Wow.
You can't.
If
So
you
when the clothes are dirty, delegate. So that you create time. You create time. I know Pastor says there are some clothes of mine that must specifically be washed. But when you don't have time, create time by delegating what can be
In
delegated.
fact, my brother Andrew, there's a writer that I like. For those guys who may refer to that writer, she actually requests men who can do that to do. Let me try to read to you, and those guys who can look for this, you can search for it. There's a book known as Adventist Home, from the people who are viewing us, who are watching over us, page 23, paragraph 3. Listen to this.
Yes.
Let the homemaker resolve to live on a wiser plan. So it means that it's a plan, and it is so much wise.
Yes.
And she says, let it be your first aim to make a pleasant home. Be sure to provide the facilities that will lighten the labor and promote health.
Facilities that will lighten the labor.
Sure, and promote health. So
Your
let's
companion must not be tired.
Of course. Many marriages have been broke or have gone down because somebody comes home very tired, not sparing the time for the partner at home.
I'm still listening.
You're synthesizing this.
Yes.
Let's say, for example, my good friend here
Yes.
travels along for a whole 2 weeks without resting. You know, there's a friend of yours who is waiting for you for those 2 weeks to come back home. And then you come back home and you're so tired. What will she think of you?
No, but let me ask. You know, there are certain things that I want.
Yes.
How can a man be tired? Listen, we are almost like running on energizers. And you see, the energy we have,
Yes.
the energy you have,
Yes.
you should be able to have that energy felt here.
It's true.
We cannot spare our energies to use enough of our energies elsewhere.
Sure.
And as I said, I love doing lots of things and all that.
Andrew, let's stop being ideal.
Sure.
Somebody said that word. Let's be real.
Sure.
This body,
Gets tired.
gets tired.
True.
Yes.
This body needs to be re-energized
Yes.
for it to function in the best way possible.
Sure.
When you work for 2 weeks, when you work for 1 week away from your friend,
Yes.
We cannot deny the fact that when you come home,
You're tired.
you are not tired. You are tired.
Sure.
The
But
only
now-
thing which stands
Yes.
is when you come home and you're this tired. How do you handle your tiredness? Can your friend understand that he is tired?
Will your friend be constantly understanding that you are tired? You know.
Now you
I'm
bring
getting
me to the
pattern.
point which I told you some
Are
other
you
time.
going to be tired throughout?
That is why I told you a statement that when it comes to emotions, emotions doesn't understand how many times you climb the pulpit. Because sometimes when you climb the pulpit to go and hammer the gospel, you come when you're so tired.
True.
Because the spirit was working and it was using a mortal body to deliver a message which is immortal to the mortals.
Yes.
You get it? So which means it is the spirit and the body.
Yes.
When you leave that pulpit, you are extremely exhausted, including the mind and the body. You
Yes.
just need a place to go and relax. When you go home, does that person understand that this person is tired?
But how many times should this person understand?
That person can only understand that you're tired when you also give yourself room. There are 4 weeks in a month. In a month.
Yes.
Pick 2, climb the pulpit.
Pick 2 that you're tired.
You're tired. Pick
But
2.
pick 2 that you're not tired.
Correct.
And when you're not tired, let us feel your presence, that you're not tired.
Not even let us feel. Let us know
So you're saying that
and understand that you're
can
not
two
tired.
walk together
They can
unless
walk.
they agree?
They will agree.
They
Unless
must
they-
agree first.
Yes.
So it means that every single evening of those weeks, she must have understood that,
That-
this person is tired and this is the routine.
That evening you're organizing for the sermon. It is a holy Friday. You're getting into the Sabbath.
Don't worry. I'm not even asking a question on that because I know where my brother is heading. But I have to say this. You see, your companion, that's why we said it's not about you. It's about the two of you.
Sure.
So if it's about the two of you, even when you are getting tired, psychologically prepare your friend that you're tired.
Sure. That's important.
What if somebody wanted to take a stroll with you, then you come and say you're tired? You should have said before you came tired that, by the way, today I've been run down.
And
I'll give you an example. You see, like for me, I love preaching and I also love my work. When I go for my vocational duties, I can go for field work and I work and I come back when I'm exhausted. And at times when I preach and I come back when I'm extremely tired. I can't even eat. In fact, when I work, I'm not as tired as when I preach.
That is true.
When I preach, on the Sabbaths I'm preaching,
Use a
I
lot
don't
of
even
energy.
take supper.
Use a lot of energy.
But you know what? The fact that I don't...
But Andrew, you'll tell me one of these fine days why that thing is happening.
That one I'll explain to you.
We'll talk about it.
Let me finish with the
Yes.
companion. So you see, what happens when I come, my attention is needed. My attention is needed by my wife. My attention is needed by the children. My attention is needed everywhere. There are even friends who are calling, they want to hear from you. And you see now, I want this to be very clear, that in as much as this attention is needed, how I handle my companion matters a lot. There are companions who are neglected because we are bringing up good children. Mm-hmm. So you know what? You have disciplined children with an indisciplined wife. So here you are, yes. You've really done well. Yeah. My children can quote the Bible, but my wife negates everything that they have quoted and I have preached. So what does that tell me about companion? It then tells me that when, the preacher in me is urging to say this.
That is why I'm quiet. I'm listening to that someone.
In the book of Matthew, you see, in the book of Matthew chapter 23, it says, you have neglected the weightier things of low faith and judgment. These things ought ye have done, not leaving the others undone. Could it be that there are moments we have neglected our companions when we had justifiable reasons?
Yes.
That is very true. Every single man, and this time round, let me say a serious one, and more so in the service and in the vineyard of the Lord, they will have justifiable reasons Why? Number one, they are absent from home. Number two, why they are busy. When you look at their schedule, for example, look, I want to give you a very typical example. Myself, I'm a chaplain of an institution, of 3 institutions and a church. You get it?
Wow.
I have to pray for the sick. I have to pray for the primary students. I have to pray for the school of medicine. You get it? Then on Friday, Wednesday, I get into church.
Vespers.
Vespers. I pick it with the Sabbath. On Sunday, I'm in board. All those things are justifiable. But in all of them, at which point do I pick it and say, this is what I need to do next? The boys have come from school, I was not there. They want me. The woman, the lady, has also come. She also needs my attention. All of them are needed. There are some things you cannot delegate.
Let me come
Justifiable.
Yes.
Let me come in and bring this challenge to all our viewers. Let's talk to those guys who are not yet married. And they're busy outside there.
Yes.
Let's say somebody travels from the capital city to another city. They're tired, justifiable reasons.
Yes.
Do you think once that person reaches the other city, he's not married, does he take his time to call the girlfriend in a certain city or another town? He does.
He does.
He's busy, but he does. That one before he wins the heart of that person to himself. Let's say, for example, you're a very busy gentleman. You're working for a busy organization. Up from 8 to 6 in the evening. You're not yet married. As soon as you get inside and you unlock that door, what comes to your mind at first? Is it the sufuria or the girlfriend?
The lady. That friend.
The lady.
Yes.
Now translate that one to this mature marriage now.
Explain to me where is the transition point? Do you mean there are pastors who normally speak and they're saying, now that I am going to join you up, when you get married, you will realize that all of a sudden when you are tired, you can't talk to your wife?
And that's the point. There's something that somebody calls sometimes generational gap. And the devil is very keen about it. Let's say, for example, that busy schedule, the devil will take advantage of it. Surely he will take. But if you don't allow that advantage to be there, the devil cannot take advantage of it.
I am asking a question to my brother.
Yes.
As I interject you shortly. When you're walking in the streets,
Yes.
you see 2 people walking, and the distance between them is no distance. Is that a husband and wife, or that is a boyfriend and girlfriend?
I'll give you
When
an
you
answer.
see 2 people walking in the street,
Yes.
and one has held the other like this,
Yes.
is that a husband and wife or boyfriend and girlfriend? I'll ask you another question. When you see 2 people driving in a vehicle, and when
They're
one is
lighting,
almost
chit-chatting.
holding the gear lever, the other one is almost holding the gear lever, or the other one has placed their hand here, is that one a husband and wife or boyfriend and girlfriend? When you see 2 people have walked into church,
Yes.
and they are seated together, hardly there is a space, and one cannot get up and leave the other seated there. Is that a husband and wife?
In fact, they're
or
sharing a
boyfriend
Bible.
and girlfriend?
Relax.
When you get, and you see these 2 people, and you see they're coming into church, they're smiling at each other, they're walking nicely, majestically,
Yes.
and they're coming to church. Is that a husband and wife or boyfriend and girlfriend? 21st century man as a companion.
I pray that the Spirit of the Lord guides me to answer all those. Number one,
Yes.
those 2 people, by the common knowledge, they are not husband and wife. Those people are dating.
Those who are dating.
Public display of affection.
Yes.
And you see, the thing is this.
I've not finished.
I'm beginning to wonder why,
not finished.
why they're not.
There is public display of affection.
Or the married should not.
No, I'm not. I'm still just on this. Public display of affection on 2 individuals who are about to be joined together. At this point, they've not seen anything which can make them to be detached from each other. They still perceive the world to be theirs. And I want you to understand me as I go slowly by slowly, which means at that point, love is still hot. Love at home, let me say so. They're still feeling the warmth of each other. They want the world to understand how much they love each other. At that point, 90% of all those people are people who have not gotten into marriage. But if they've gotten into marriage, they're in their first years of marriage.
What is this? Is it that it is wrong to love each other?
It is not wrong.
Is it wrong?
Step by step. Along the way, there's a way on how love becomes sour.
Can we rekindle the flame?
I'm coming. It becomes sour. Then slowly by slowly, you tend to focus on the negative side of the other person. You get it? What brought you together were the positive sides.
When you are too tight, you overlooked.
You overlooked the negative. But now when you're starting to stay together, the negative side starts opening up. You get it? Then it separates the two of you. If you don't pray to be back together, you're going to interfere with that marriage. One thing will come forth. There's this group of individuals which nowadays they put on African attire. You find a man putting on a top which is similar to the whole dress. They come to church. You feel love is full to the brim. It is being poured by a trough or a door or whatever. In Etwaje, how do you call it?
Bucket.
Bucket.
Yes.
It is being poured and it is full. They come to church. And behind those African attires, there's pain and the heart is leaking.
Let's give hope. Time is running down. Let's give hope. Is it possible for us to rekindle the flame of companionship, which is dying out? Because you see, if can we be able to bring back the initial affections that we had?
Sure.
If you really loved this person, I want us to punch it down as we just look into this.
Sure.
How can you help a 21st century man who the world is now thinking that dating is when you love each other?
Sure.
And that's why, could it be the reason why most men are not even getting married and most ladies cannot get husbands? Because the 21st century man thinks the responsibility of loving is a big yoke.
Sure. Let me say this.
Say something. You got 1 minute.
First of all, marriage is very sweet.
Amen. You've said it.
And it comes with its own blessings. And I want to encourage a
That's
friend
a powerful
outside
statement.
there.
You need not to say it just like
And
that.
I want to encourage a friend outside there, even as I
Yes.
bring this one down.
Yes.
Do this. I'm a mathematician. What 1 shilling can do, 2 shilling can do it more.
Wow.
What you are fearing, maybe you're employed outside there. Maybe you're earning 20,000, the other one is maybe earning 10,000. What 30,000 can do, 20,000 cannot do. But as you separate it in friendship for a long time, you'll stagnate. And then number 2, what we say that those guys who are in marriage, what you started in courtship,
Yes.
bring it into marriage, that friendship. Rekindle it.
I'm picking you that graduate.
Graduate. In fact,
Always getting better.
in fact, the Bible tells me whenever God's people were getting down, God could remind them, remember your first love.
Remember from whence thou art fallen.
And the way I was saying, the way you used to call this person, the way you used to chat this person, when you're at work and you feel you are so busy, take 1 minute and text back. How are you? And continue with your work. That single text will brighten the day of the other person.
Tell us how you're going to deal with the companion as we punch it down.
When you have a wife, as a 21st century man, who has given birth to a son or a daughter who is too bright in school,
Yes.
then you tend to love the bright one and leave the one who has given birth to the bright one. You are wrong. I don't know whether you've heard me.
Very, very clear. That's profound.
Come up again.
That's profound.
You've picked somebody's daughter and you've made her your wife.
Sure.
Then by God's grace, she gives birth to sons and daughters who are upright. Then you tend to lean towards the ones who are bright and leave the one who gave birth to the ones who are bright. There's a problem. Appreciate the one who has given birth to the bright ones, so that you may add and rekindle what might not be there in the bright ones. Because when they will see what is happening between the two of you, their brightness will even be more with a lot of wisdom, because they pick a picture from the one who has brought them up.
Give me
Wow.
a second before you finish. A second.
A second.
Let me say this. If with all that we're doing,
Yes.
there's a Kiswahili word that says, Bwana asipolijenga, wajengao wakesha bure. Ama
Except the Lord build a house. The builders labor in vain.
in vain.
And I want to finish with this word, that what we are saying is, let us value our companions. 21st century man is going to be able to provide companionship. Why? Because he knows that this has been brought into his hand. Let us not always think that you're doing somebody a favor. You are not doing anyone a favor. Remember, if that lady left you, you will be single. And if you are with that lady has spared you from being single. So let's be wonderful companions, and let us go out there and represent menfolk by being good companions. The Lord bless you. In case of any feedback, the number runs there. Give us your feedback. We'll appreciate it.